the negative has gotten off on some tangents here, bringing up the cases that just because a juvenile is committing a crime doesn't change the fact that it is still a repeat offender, and saying that the Three Strikes Law does, in fact, stop repeat offenders. However, firstly addressing that issue, well, the crime rate has gone down as a whole. According to the California Department of Justice, there was actually a 17.9% increase in the rate of felony commitments. This is recent, which means that the target of the Three Strikes Law, that is repeat felony offenders, have obviously not been deterred. In fact, it has been an increase. Now, returning to our original 5 points, that it crowds the prison, that it is unfair to criminals, that it is costly, ineffective, and problematic for legislation. The California State Auditor states that the average prison sentence has increased as more of a percentage of inmates are imprisoned under the Three Strikes Law. And this actually covers the issue of age, which was also brought up. The reason that criminals are aging is not because you're deterring younger criminals. It is because prison sentences are increasing. And so the average prison age is going up as well to match that, as more and more people are staying in prison for longer periods of time. Now, as I also mentioned, it is more expensive to keep older inmates, up to $50,000 a year. And this only ties back into the fact that our current system, due in large part to the Three Strikes Law, is costly and ineffective. According to the National Institute of Corrections, California spends, on average, 9.3% of its budget on corrections, that is, prisons and incarceration. And this is 28% higher than the national average. While we are the 5th biggest spender on corrections, we are only the 18th highest in incarceration. The percentages are largely out of whack. Now, again, going back to the repeat offender issue, yes, they've committed crimes in the past. However, we should not punish people in the present based largely on their past crimes. The entire reason for the justice system is that if you commit a crime, you are punished for it, and then after a certain period of time, your punishment is ended. You've been already punished for that crime. You shouldn't be punished more for a lesser crime committed an arbitrary amount of years in the future. For example, according to a story on NPR, Professor Lawrence Marshall of Harvard was quoted as saying, describing a certain case that he and his associates were working on, in which a man stole some socks from a store. And he said he goes on to say, "You've stolen some socks from a store, and it's a real case of ours, that were valued at a few dollars. We are going to now imprison you at a cost of $40,000 to $50,000 a year to make sure you don't steal some more socks." Oh, time's up. Yes. So that largely summarizes the issues with the Three Strikes Law as it is, and adjusting it to the felony would largely amend these issues.